understand consciousness, you have to understand that all revolutions begin ultimately as revolutions of consciousness. When one group, one set, one population suddenly wakes up to their surroundings, wakes up to their present situation, and finds that they have a number of grievances with that situation. You don't have to fix this. Like, it's not for one person or one group to fix. It's too big, it's huge. You just got to play your part. And you got to play the part you were meant to play, and you got to do your best at it. And what that means first and foremost is us being conscious. And one of the things we need to do is get over this massive and sometimes intractable wall of denial that this culture has built around it and the realities of the forces that are arrayed against them. This is not to instill fear in anyone. Fear can be transmuted easily into very powerful transformative energy, but you gotta face it first. You gotta see it, you gotta acknowledge it, and you gotta recognize it. You gotta shine the light deep into the darkest parts of your shadow, and you've gotta turn that sucker inside out. It is only your own personal shadow that's going to tear you down and tear down those around you. And we need to be conscious of these things and of the evils of the world and acknowledge them. Acknowledge that it is not perfect if most of the world is living on less than $1 a day, drinking water that is riddled with disease. That's not perfect. I'm sorry, but there is simply no defense of the statement. You know? But it is not something that cannot be changed. And it's going to take, particularly those of us who are awake, who are conscious right now, who know what's going on. Now, what is the greater crime? To be asleep and to not be aware of something and therefore proceed forward in an action, or to be conscious of something, to know that something needs to change and to still choose to turn away from it? You know, I mean, birth is painful. Birthing anything is painful, and it's bloody. But eventually it all gets cleaned up and there's this beautiful little life form. And then it's our responsibility to nurture that form. This next step that we are in, this evolutionary leap that we are slamming into, it's real and it's happening. And it's up to each and every one of us to do something. So don't be afraid, because they're as afraid, if not more, of us than we are of them.